internet issue maybe. Yeah. Okay, so we finished rotary pump. We will do root pump, and then after that we are going to look into diffusion pump and turbomolecular pump. Okay, so in roots pump, what happens is this is something like this. Okay, and if we just look into this image, I think you can actually guess how exactly we use it. Okay. Okay. So when we look into this image, roots pump will usually carry much less marks compared to uh, rotary pump. Okay, rotary pump is basically a part of a descriptive question. And roots pump, when you want to draw the diagram, probably this is the diagram that you can draw. Okay, and then you can see this idea is very simple. Again, you have got the inlet across which you actually connect the location which you actually want to vacuum. Okay, so this is also a type of rough vacuum that it creates. Okay, we have the inlet and then we have got the outlet across this. And I think by looking into this image, you can understand what kind of working it will have. Okay, the working principle. See, this is a loop. These are called loops. Okay, this is one, this is two. So if this rotates, these are smoothly connected to this. If this starts rotating, this will actually start rotating in the other direction. Okay, so as a result of which this continuous rotation will take some air from here, and then this part will actually push the air from the other end to the outlet. Okay, but you know, this is not creating a very high vacuum because there is restriction on how fast the lobe should move and so on. Okay, so it is often used for low and medium degrees of vacuum. Okay, so low and medium degree of vacuum, this is used, and this is relatively cheaper, okay, compared to the high-end vacuum pumps. The pump is best suited in applications where there are high mass flow rates. So imagine you've got a lot of gas, okay, a lot of gas trapped in a cylinder, okay, or in a box which you want to actually vacuum. So the flow rate is quite high, and if you want to create an ultra high vacuum, initially you have to remove the major part of the mass, and that major part of the mass can be removed by using these simple devices. You really don't need to have a very ultra high vacuum system. Imagine a box which is having some gas trapped. Okay, imagine a cylinder, LPG cylinder. If you somehow open the cylinder, you see that the gas comes fuzzing out. Okay, it comes out very fast of the cylinder. Why? Because the pressure which is there out the outer atmosphere is much lesser compared to the pressure inside the cylinder. Okay, so for creating that much of or taking out that much amount of gas, you don't really need a very high-end device. Okay, so in a similar way, these rotary pump or roots pump will actually take out the major part of the mass, and after that the main challenge is to take out further gas out of it. Okay, that is the main challenge. Okay, so that's important. So it consists of two identical lobed rotors moving inside a casing. So this entire part is the casing, and it has got two lobed rotors. Rotors means they are rotating, right? So this is also are having a, you can in general say this is also a stator rotor arrangement. You have the two lobes, one and two, which are basically nothing but the rotors. Okay, and you have got the stator, that means the casing around which it's actually moving. Okay? So these lobed rotors are synchronized by an external gear. So synchronization is important. Okay, you know, it's not that this will move and this will start moving on its own. Okay, it might move, some motion will be there definitely if it is made free, but then this won't be perfect for taking out the gas. So both of these lobes, one and two, should move in tandem with each other. Okay, they should be synchronized. That is very important. Okay? So synchronized by an external gear mechanism and are connected to an electric drive. Basically, you are using an electric supply to actually rotate both of them. Okay, fine. This is important. So whenever you write down any answer in exam, it's very important that, see, we are physics students, right? We are in the field of science. So proving or writing down data, formula, mathematical calculations, these things are more important rather than just writing down some general sentence which can anyone can. So these things you should always keep in mind whenever you write down your answer. Write down values, write down some parameter, write down some formula, and that will create an impression. Okay. So this subject of experimental technique, you might have seen that this is more or less theoretical. I don't have much scope of giving you a numerical problem. but then there are certain information which you need to include. Okay, so this case might be you can include this line: a fine clearance of 0.3 millimeter is maintained between the moving lobe and the stator. You cannot have the lobes uh, actually roughing, or you can say it's actually having friction with the stator. Okay, that way this device is not going to work for a very long period. So this 3.3 millimeter is a very fine region. Okay, and this is also one of the major reasons that you cannot create a perfect vacuum, because whatever air is there, some of them are going to escape to that region. Okay, but then majority of it is possible that you can actually turn it out. As a result, these pumps can be operated at a very high speed. So we can operate them at a very high speed only because there is a gap between the lobe and the stator. If there was no gap, there will be too much friction, too much heat generated. So the lobes are rotated in opposite direction with respect to each other. When you explain this pump, root pump, you have to consider these points to write. Okay, that's important. So after that, what happens is the gas is displaced from the inlet to the outlet, maintaining a pressure drop. So inside the chamber, the pressure continuously keeps on dropping. Vacuum means we have to drop the pressure. So continuously keeps on dropping as the lobes keeps on moving. Okay. A backing pressure is necessary on the outlet side before the operation of the pump. So on the outlet side, you need to have a backing pressure. That means whatever the air is coming out, it should come out through the outlet efficiently. Okay, there should be a backing pump that will actually grab all the gas that is coming out of it. Okay, so basically we can use a rotary pump connected to this. Okay, so a rotary pump can be connected on the outlet with the roots pump. This is needed to prevent the overheating of the casing. So as soon as some air is there and you are throwing it out to the outlet, overheating will definitely be avoided, because the pressure keeps on dropping inside the root pump also. Okay, so this overheating will be avoided, as a result of which this device can work for a longer time. Okay, what happens if there is overheating? Simple. The lobes are maybe of any material, mostly it's metallic. If there is overheating, there will be thermal expansion. If there is thermal expansion, the chances are that there will be damage. Okay, it will touch the stator. Okay, and there will be possible contact between the two lobes and the lobes and the stator and so on. Okay, this is a similar idea which is basically used in, let's say, the telephone lines which are kept for which are connected. Okay, or the railway tracks. Okay, there are gaps in between railway track because summertime they will actually expand. Okay, so that there is no bending of the railway track, so that's why that is used. The telephone lines are always loosened. Okay, they are slack. Okay, because they will contract and expand. So similar idea is here also. It's basic physics. It is important to note that these high mass flow rate, one has to compromise on the vacuum level. That's quite obvious. There is a gap there. Okay, and then you are having a lobe which is rotating. You cannot always say that you will be creating perfect vacuum. Okay, so there is always compromise on the vacuum. Okay?